Welcome back to LePodcast, episode 68. You're here with Hoop and the infamous Easy Huncho. Saney is on a well-deserved vacation. Unfortunately, it's at a rough time because the NBA was popping last night. Did you see the ending of the Milwaukee-Miami game, or were you too caught up in your Warriors?
I was very caught up in the Warriors. I was actually on the road when that game was going on.
So were you driving?
No. No.
He's got the NBA app. Holds out like, go.
Stream East, actually. But I did have the NBA app pulled up to see, just to check the Warriors at the start of the fourth. And then I got y'all's text, right? So let me just run through y'all's text. I'm gonna run through the LePodcast group chat for a second. So
I remember, like, if I could explain my setting, I was on the couch watching the Warriors-Kings game, and I saw, they give you a little score in the top right.
Yeah.
I saw with maybe 5 minutes left in the fourth, the Milwaukee Bucks were up 10. So my shoulder was hurting. I went to go roll it out on a massage roller downstairs, and I look at my phone. It's a tie game. So I'm like, because I already missed a lot of the Heat comeback the last game. I saw the ending, but I was like, I'm not gonna watch another Jimmy. I'm not gonna miss another Jimmy Butler masterclass. I turned it on, and when he caught that lob with one hand and threw it up.
It shouldn't have even, the degree of difficulty on that shot. Because, first of all, did you see, he said that Eric
pushed
Spoelstra
off,
drew up
but it was
play.
still tough. I don't care if he pushed off.
Eric Spoelstra literally said that it was drawn up for somebody else. He didn't name the person, but Jimmy literally was like, no, let me be that guy. And then I think Jimmy said that he was just reading the way that Jrue Holiday was playing him the entire night, so he knew that if he had cut back door to the paint, that he would have had that lane. And he was just like, it's all about the pass. And I believe it was Caleb Martin, wasn't it, who made the pass?
Shout out Gabe Vincent. He had to throw it over Giannis.
Yeah, bro, what?
That's a tough pass.
That is insanity. Yep. So anyway, I looked at the LePodcast group chat. This is at 12:20 a.m. Hoop says, bro, in all caps, bro, Jimmy Butler. What? Bro. Saying he said, I'm stunned. So as soon as you did that, I went to the NBA app. And I was like, okay, let me see. Because I saw the same thing, too. 5 minutes left. I was like, oh, Bucks got this.
All going down the freeway. It was 55 miles an hour.
Then I ended up going on the freaking app, bro, and I see that it's tied going into overtime. And I'm like, bro, what? I look at the box score. Jimmy's got 40. I'm like, what have I missed, bro? Another Jimmy masterclass? Are you kidding me? And then I did watch overtime. And I got to say, Milwaukee, man, Milwaukee down the stretch. I don't know if I want to look at Mike Budenholzer for not saying, okay, Giannis go guard Jimmy. But if I'm Mike, I'm also thinking to myself, I got Jrue Holiday. This is an all-world defender, one of the best defenders at the point guard position. And he's getting cooked. So it's Jimmy was cooking him and talking shit to him the entire game. I'm pretty sure he said he owns him at one point.
I also think Giannis is a little overrated as an on-ball defender. You're not going to put him on an elite wing. He's too big and too, not quick enough. He's a great defender in general, for the shot blocker, help defense he provides. But one-on-one, if Jrue is not doing the job, you're getting toasted.
That's what I said. Jesus. But so when you're evaluating. Because I remember back when we were doing the duos episode, probably 5-6 episodes ago. Saney was here, you were here, and we were doing the Eastern Conference. I said for my third spot, give me Jimmy and Bam. I said I'm trusting Jimmy and Bam over Joel and James. Now here's the thing. I'm more so just trusting Jimmy Butler. Bam to me, I was gonna tell you this. Bam to me is I don't want to say it, but I want to say it. Bam is literally kind of overrated to me. He's one of those guys he's one of those guys
say why he's overrated.
This is why I think he's overrated.
Is a very broad statement.
It is. And this is why it's tough for me to say it. Because last night I checked Bam's last 5 games, right? And I noticed a trend. Bam is the type of player, because literally last night he gave you a 20-point triple-double, right? So he's either going to give you 10 rebounds and good scoring, or he's going to give you, let me see if I get this right, 6 rebounds, 4 rebounds, 8 rebounds, maybe 5 rebounds. He had 10. So he can give you double-digit rebounds on any given night in a series, but he can also give you 5 rebounds and go completely quiet from the field not necessarily completely quiet, but just like the shots that Bam took. Bam hit a tough shot to, I think, tie it up last night. It was one of those high arcer mid ranges, and I was like, okay, that's Bam's game.
Well, he's not aggressive.
Right. But
it's
when you
all
look at
that
a guy like
stuff.
It is. And when you look at Jimmy, it's like Jimmy's giving it to you. Jimmy's competitive. Jimmy's competing. He has that Jordan killer mentality, like Kobe snarl, all of that. Bam's like he can be effective. He can be effective. I'm not saying he can't be effective because I've seen Bam make a lot of late game defensive blocks to block Tatum, I think twice. Once in the playoffs a few years ago, and then I believe this regular season this year. But when you're putting Bam up against guys like, I don't know, I'm Joel, for example, Giannis. Giannis went out there and did his thing. He had 38 and 20 last night. Obviously Bam ain't stopping that. He did as best as he could.
We're gonna talk about Giannis, but
yeah,
I agree with you in
saying,
that Bam definitely has an aggressiveness
yeah,
issue.
That's the only thing I'm missing. Is like it's kind of the same thing with AD. It's like you don't know what AD you're gonna get. But
exactly.
That's a problem. That's a problem because you need the aggressive AD to match whatever Bron's giving you.
Yeah.
You need the aggressive Bam to match whatever Jimmy's giving you. So,
well, we want to stay on this topic just for another second. But before I do that, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the playoff stat leaders in the first 5 or 6 games of the playoffs. They are wild. Okay,
please run them by me.
So let's start off. I mean, I'm only going to do points per game. I'm not going to go down every category. But guess who the top 5 guys are? They all are averaging 30 or more.
Jimmy, I know, is in that discussion. Steph Curry is in that discussion. De'Aaron Fox, I believe, is in that discussion. I don't think Brunson is. I want to say he's like 25 per game range, maybe. I just don't think he's averaging 30.
2 guys in the West.
2 guys in the West I'm missing. Ja?
I'll give it to you. Jimmy Butler is averaging 37.6 points per game on 60% shooting.
44
Devin
from the
Booker,
3, right?
44 from 3. Devin Booker is averaging 37 a game on 60% shooting from the field on 47% from 3. Anthony Edwards is 32 a game, right? He's knocked out, but he's got 48% from, like, these are they're all crazy efficient.
Jesus.
Curry is averaging 31 a game on good efficiency. Fox is only at 43%, but he's taking a lot of the Kings' offensive load. He's at 30 a game.
Yeah.
I
ain't
with
blaming
that
him for
being
that.
said, right, the leader, Jimmy Butler, is playing unreal, almost like bubble-esque basketball when everyone was just hyper efficient, these high scoring numbers. None of us, including Saney, had him in our top 10 to start the year. And I think for a valid reason. We've seen Jimmy show up in the playoffs. Last year, he kind of fell flat. What quote did he have? It was some like tough quote that like aged horribly.
When did they get bounced out in the first round last year?
I thought they did get bounced out in the first round. It just wasn't like the Jimmy we're used to seeing. And he comes back again this year, right? Obviously, you could say he's maybe the best.
He's the best player in the world right now. He's the best player in the world.
So where does he rank in the NBA right now?
Right now.
Let's say if it ended right now, like if there was no championship, it just ended, and we're going into the next regular season. Where does Jimmy Butler rank?
Jimmy, oh my God, that's actually tough.
If you know he's gonna be like the normal 22 a game in the regular season, like mid-record, like what?
It's insanity to me because like it's insanity to me to try and analyze and evaluate Jimmy Butler. And you're right, going into the season, we didn't have him in our top 10s, but like you said, for good reason, bro. Like none of us, I think all of us
no
expected.
one had him in their top 10.
Nobody except Heat fans, maybe. But I feel like we looked at it as like, okay, the Heat on paper have not made any significant moves in the offseason. Kevin Love wasn't there yet, and even though he's there now, it's still the same old Kevin Love. It's not really anything like, oh yeah, like super team-esque or whatever. But the Heat going into the season, what do they have? Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson still riding away on the bench. But bam, they got rid of Dedmon. So when I looked at the team, I was like, they haven't really done anything significant to make me think that they're going to be some top 4 seed in the East compared to teams like the Knicks, compared to teams like the Cavs. compared to teams even like the Sixers, because I was looking at the Sixers and I was like, I mean, you got James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris.
Were you that high on the Knicks going into the season?
I was because I believe in Jalen Brunson. I always have believed in Jalen Brunson. Love him. I believe that the Knicks were missing that particular piece of a facilitator who could also create his own shot. Derrick Rose obviously is the greatest player to ever do that, but Jalen Brunson to me is a great is a great co-star to Julius Randle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I believe in that
agree, but
from the jump. And I believe that the Knicks were going to have a better record than the Heat. Jimmy, for me, bro, when I'm thinking about Jimmy, bro, it's not only the offense, man. It's the defense. You saw that sequence last night.
No. Hold on. Because you're trying to get around this. It's like, oh, he's so good. But is he better or worse than Jason Tatum?
Better.
So where did... Because I feel bad for all the Celtics fans that we constantly egg on with this stuff. But that, like, we need to get... like, is he better or worse than Anthony Davis?
He's better than Anthony Davis. And here's the thing.
Is he better
his availability
or
makes him better
than Joel Embiid?
That's a tough one. I'm taking Joel. I think I'm taking Joel. And the thing is
that means he's like 5 or 6, right?
It's so because here's the thing. I don't want to put him in the top 3 because everybody's gonna be like, is he under recency bias? The thing is though, when you are looking at what Jimmy Butler did in this first round against this Milwaukee Bucks team, the best team in the best record in the league, best team in the East, 8th seed, 1 seed, Giannis, all of the defenders that they have on the team. Jimmy Butler cooked Drew Holiday, who is maybe the best defending point guard in the league outside of, I guess, Marcus Smart. But then the switches, he has Giannis Antetokounmpo on him, who's a better defender than Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic, who are battling back and forth for MVP consideration right now. And then you have Brook Lopez, who was second in defensive player of the year. He's cooking him at the rim. Like, not to mention that when his team, like when you watch the Miami Heat, especially in the first quarter, second quarter, Jimmy is giving it 105, 110% compared to everybody else. In that game, in that pivotal game 5, 20, 22 in the first quarter, 20 in the fourth quarter. Like, Jimmy put the entire state of Florida on his back and said, here, let me show you the way. Not to mention, Jimmy Butler's defense is already elite for his position, right? So when you have both, when you were locking up and you were dropping 35 plus a game, like, what more against the number 1 seed in the East and the best defensive, one of the, or maybe you could say second deepest team in the league. But I mean, like, Miami isn't deeper than them. They needed all of them points. They needed all the points, the steals.
You're going to ask, what else do you want, right?
What else do you want?
What was it? Was he an all-star this year?
He was not an all-star this year. He didn't even care. That's the crazy part. Jimmy was like, I'm mad. I got to go on vacation. Okay.
Like, that's the thing. Like, am I supposed to rank play? Like, it's hard. Is Kawhi number 1? He doesn't play. Jimmy Butler doesn't show up in the regular season, but he's top 5 anyways. Like, man, the NBA is mind-boggling right now.
It's insane,
but
bro.
We need to move on. And we're still on the same topic. Is Giannis in jeopardy of losing his top spot in the league?
I don't think so.
Nasty free throw shooting.
I don't think he's in jeopardy. I think I saw a meme after he had dropped that liner against the dude in the presser last night, saying Michael Jordan played 15 years. Michael Jordan played 15 years in the league. So you mean to tell me that the other 9 was a failure? And then I'm sitting here like, damn, I mean, bro got a point. But and did you hear what he said when he was like, he was like, do you? I'm not trying to get personal. Steps to success. Yeah. I'm like, damn,
he was
Giannis.
hot. He was hot.
This is Giannis's villain arc, bro. I'm telling you. In the off season alone, I'm expecting bro to come back with a Dirk fadeaway, bro. I'm expecting bro to come back shooting 75% or more from the free throw line. Not to mention how great he is driving in. I mean, 38 points and 20 rebounds last night, bro. Like, Giannis gave it his all. Chris Middleton, shout out to him, 33, 6 and 6. But nobody else. I mean, Brook Lopez wasn't giving you 30 again, and even when he gave you 30, you still lost. So it's like,
even aside from the stats, there was just a lot of mental breakdowns. Like, deep in the fourth quarter, if it wasn't for that bailout foul that turned into a jump ball, Miami would have had it with a chance to win and not send it to overtime.
Right.
Giannis almost threw the ball away. They didn't get
Middleton.
a shot off to tie or win the game. They didn't get a shot off.
Grayson Allen.
Grayson
Allen. Let me just say I just got 2 words for you, baby. Ni hao.
Grayson.
Ni hao. What the hell is wrong with you? The court awareness, bro. The court awareness is just insanity, bro.
He was wide open for a little midi too, and he's a good shooter.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I expected you to at least pop that or maybe a little floater or something. Damn. But to run the clock out, that's some Dak Prescott type shit, bro. Come on now. Come on.
So now that the East playoffs are set, we have the Knicks and the Heat, which we're going to talk about, I guess, a little later. I want to go on a little rant now that it's over and I finally can talk my talk. No 3-1 comeback over here in Nicktown. And then the Sixers and the Celtics. Which team is least likely to make the NBA Finals, in your opinion?
Between, you said the Sixers, the Celtics, the Heat, and the Knicks.
Yes, and based on their matchups, too.
To be honest with you, man, on paper, it's supposed to be the Miami Heat, right? Now, the Heat are the most unpredictable team in the league to me. The Knicks, I look at them and I love how Mitchell Robinson's been dominating in the interior. The only question marks I have there are Julius Randle's health, basically, right? But I was talking to one of my good buddies, who's a Knicks fan, goes to Longwood. Shout out my boy Layden. Big Knicks fan. He called me last night right after the Knicks won, and I could tell he was a little, a little celebrating. And he was like, man, I'm telling you right now, Jimmy don't want to see us in the Garden, bro. And then I was like, well, do you think that I'm more concerned with Julius Randle because his injury looked a little like, I don't think he's going to be out for that long, but it looked like he'll be out for maybe 2-3 games. And he was like, we don't need Julius, bro. We don't. And I was like, so you mean to tell me that you are relying on...
Hold up, though. I'm going to say this. So Julius was like on his feet. He walked out. I don't think he's going to be gone that long. Maybe it's game 1 and he comes back, because I think it was basically the same thing that happened last time, but to a lesser extent. The only reason why I'm saying we can maybe get by a game without Julius, first off, it needs to be an MSG. On the road, Julius is much better. It'll be hard to win on the road without him. But at home against Miami, this is the reason I want to play Miami again and not Milwaukee. When Jalen Brunson matches up with the other point guard, much rather it be Kyle Lowry or Gabe Vincent than Drew Holiday, right?
Okay,
Miami's point of attack defender is much weaker. The Knicks' strengths are Milwaukee's strengths. Randle lines up with Giannis. Mitch lines up with Brook Lopez. And they, pretty much stunt all our strengths in that area. Miami, they have Jimmy Butler, which is not, small forward is not a strength of ours, but we have Josh Hart. If there's anyone who's going to try his best to match Jimmy Butler's energy, it's Josh Hart. Julius Randle now lines up with Kevin Love, and Mitchell Robinson has a height advantage on Bam Adebayo. And people were telling me all the time, right, throughout the whole Cavs series about the Twin Towers going to dominate Randle and Mitchell. They were babied the whole series. And I've the 2 best defensive bigs in the league, dog, grab a rebound. And Bam has shown aggressiveness problems too. So I think we could take advantage of that. Not to mention, right, you have Hero who's out. I don't think he's even in question to be come back for the series. And the depth has played so well. The depth has played so well to the point where I don't know if they can continue. If it's going to take Jimmy to continue averaging 37 a game on 60% shooting, I'll take an L. If he's going to do that to the New York Knicks throughout the whole series, I'll take an L. I'm just saying that's probably not going to happen. Probably not.
I see what you're saying.
I think we line up with Miami really, really well.
I agree.
And for that reason, I don't know if you answered the question. I think the least likely team to make the finals, it's probably Philly, but then Miami's a close second. Because I think Boston owns Philly. I have a hard time seeing Philly beat Boston, bro. Joel Embiid is already struggling against the double. I think it's probably Philly, on a matchup basis. But I think the Knicks have home court too. They're the higher seed against Miami. Man, people have been chatting the Knicks suck, Cleveland sold. People have been I'm sorry, I'm going into this, bro.
No, go ahead.
No one said a word about the Cavs' talent before this playoffs. It was always, they have Garland, Mitchell, such a stacked lineup. But now we're talking about how the team is not properly constructed.
Who said that?
The Knicks. No, a lot of people, bro. They've been saying, if they had a small forward, they'd be better, right? It's only defense or offense with Osman or Okoro, which is a problem. I think I've said it on this podcast. That was my issue with them, that Mobley can't shoot, and they don't have a reliable guy at the 3 spot. But no one was saying that before the playoffs. So they're basically trying to say it's a Cavs blunder more than a Knicks W. The Knicks put those boys in their place. Yeah. And no one's been watching it. Talking about Miami, it's going to be Miami in 4, Miami in 5. Just watch, man.
I will say this. Layden also told me last night the same thing you said about Josh Hart. He was like, Jimmy ain't doing that on Josh Hart.
No. He's gonna do stuff. But if anyone's gonna give him, if anyone in this planet is gonna match his energy, it's Josh Hart.
Josh Hart had 12 rebounds last night. Damn.
Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson combined for 30 rebounds last night. Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen combined for 14.
Oh, God, that's it. Jarrett Allen had 4, 4, and 4. Bro's putting up
Twin Towers my
butt. Wendy's?
Twin Towers my butt.
Bro, we're working for Wendy's. Yeah, the Fofofo. That's insane.
For everyone watching, I'm putting out a TikTok later today. It'll be posted by the time this podcast is out, on how the Knicks brutally murdered those 2 bigs at the basket. Just watch and enjoy. I'm telling, if you didn't watch the series, that's all you got to see. That's been the whole series. People have been talking about, Donovan Mitchell has no help. Darius Garland has no help. Grab a rebound.
Literally.
People are talking about, oh man, Bickerstaff is awful, terrible rotations. Bro, grab a rebound. It'd be different.
Y'all just mad that the Knicks won.
The one game that the Cavaliers won, they won the rebounding battle.
Right.
The Knicks took the rest. The team who grabbed the most rebounds won the game.
In the words of Jarrett Allen, the lights were brighter than expected. To me, that is brutal.
He actually said that.
He did say that. That is the most honest response I've heard from somebody that, crumbled in the last 2 to 3 games of a series. This is the first time I've seen a player be that honest. And listen, for Jarrett Allen, I think, like you said, putting on more muscle and things of that nature, because you can be 7 feet tall. But, I mean, if Julius Randle...
It's not muscle, bro. It's mindset. Josh Hart was leaping over him.
Literally. Looking at
Mobley,
guys
it's different, because Mobley can't handle someone, banging into him. He's got some muscle to put on. But if you're,
Pause.
Jarrett Allen's he's a sturdy dude. Put your head down and grab a rebound. I have a video of Jalen Brunson boxing him out.
That's insane.
I swear to you.
Honestly insane.
But continue.
Damn. I'm just going to say, for the Heat in this Knicks series, I think that it could be great. I think that I just want to say this one point too, because I keep saying that I need to bring this up. Do you remember after Game 1 of the Milwaukee-Miami series where Jimmy posted that pic on his Instagram story of 3 dough? I remember.
I don't follow Jimmy.
So, it just started trending.
I think I need to, though.
Right after Game 1, he put on his Instagram. You should look at what he put on his Instagram story after this game. It's insane. But
I gotta see this.
Yeah, go look at it right now. But in Game 1, he put up a picture of 3 does, right? Which is female deer. So
okay,
I remember on Shannon Sharp and on Undisputed rather. Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless were talking about it after that Game 1, and Shannon Sharp was like, "Oh, now Jimmy, you got to back that up. I don't think the Bucks are like that. You can't just be talking and just after 1 win, And then
this
Jimmy
is all
goes
him playing checkers on his story.
Literally, Jimmy Butler has quickly
it's
become,
coffee.
He's literally a troll. But think about it. We had Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid on the same team. If they were on the same team right now in the playoff series, beating the Milwaukee Bucks, good Lord, the trolls would be through the roof right now. Oh my God. But all I'm saying is Heat and Knicks should be a phenomenal series. I can't wait to see it. And I agree with Hoop, if there's anybody on the Knicks that is going to give Jimmy Butler some sort of trouble or some sort of uncomfortableness, whatever, it would be Josh Hart. And I think that he's up for the task. Seeing how Josh Hart was rebounding in this series and how he was focusing on that aspect of it alone, I like Josh Hart a lot because he's one of those impact players. Doesn't necessarily have to give you 15, 12 points a game, but if he can find an area to impact the game that nobody else is looking to find, that's all you need right there. So when you look at the Knicks as a whole, you can literally point to a lot of duos last night, specifically Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson on the glass. And then you could point to maybe Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett with the scoring load, right? And Julius Randle probably would have chipped in a little bit more if he not got hurt.
He played his best half of playoff basketball and then landed on Mobley's ankle and re-injured his ankle. Like so upsetting.
So upsetting.
Should we get on to the West? All you need to know is Knicks Miami is going to be a movie.
I can't wait to see that.
It's
Saturday night,
maybe.
Oh, all right, let's move on.
Dude, I just want to shut people up, bro.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
So should we
go Lakers Grizzlies?
I was gonna say we could pose the same question of like who is least likely to make it to the finals and take the guys who are winning the series right now. Like I believe the Warriors will pull it out. We could say the Warriors and Grizzlies, Warriors and Lakers hypothetically are in the next round, or unless you want to do all 6 of them. So out of them, and then the Nuggets and what's the other team? The Suns, who is least likely to make it to the NBA Finals if it shapes out the way it's headed.
Out of all of those teams, least likely to make the finals, personally, I'm going to say LA, because, and then a close second would be the Suns, because, like I mentioned before, when you're playing your star guys 43 minutes a night because you have to, that's a problem. So when you're going up against teams that are well-oiled machines like the Denver Nuggets offense is, when you have Nikola Jokic, you have to worry about MPJ. You have to worry about if Jamal Murray is going to become Bubble Murray. You have to worry about KCP. You have to worry about Aaron Gordon. You have to worry about a lot. And when you're Monty Williams and you look at the rest of the guys that you have on this squad outside of Bismack Biyombo, you're not putting in Ish Wainwright. You're not putting in Shamit. Cam Payne, is he still on the team? I think so. You're not putting him in. So you're relying.
They haven't given those guys minutes. I gotta look this
barely, up. Like literally barely.
Every time I've seen Ish Wainwright play basketball, he has been productive. I don't know if it's just like me turning on the TV at the wrong time. He is knocking down threes left and right.
Bro, I'm looking at it right now. So Damian Lee in their last game against the Clippers played 6 minutes. Cam Payne had 3 minutes and 16 seconds. That's Austin 3:16. Darius Baisley gets nothing. Jock Landale gets nothing. Terrence Ross gets nothing. Wainwright, nothing. TJ Warren, nothing
for Terrence Ross, man.
Nothing. So when you look at what they went into, so Josh Okogie off the bench had the most minutes with 32, but that was because Torrey Craig got 16 minutes in the starting lineup. I don't know if he got hurt or not. I hope not. But he only shot 1 time in 16 minutes. But you look at the rest of the starters, you got Kevin Durant giving you 31, Aiden giving you 21 and 11, Booker giving you 47 and 10, Chris Paul giving you 15 and 7. So it's like the Suns' front line is all they have. They have really nothing on the back line to rely on. You can't
Not to mention it's old. I'm seeing this right now. Yeah. It's really like a 6 to maybe 7-man rotation if you want to throw Biyombo in.
And that's terrible. When I look at the Warriors, for example, right, I was wondering what the hell our rotations were going to be going into the series, especially when Draymond was out. Because I was like, Kerr's not giving Kuminga no minutes, and now he's going to have to throw him out there. When I look at the Warriors, though, what they threw out there in that game, what was it, 4? Yeah, game 4. What they threw out, well, no, was it game 3? When did Draymond get suspended? Game 3. What I saw in that game 3 was literally Steve Kerr doing the same thing he did in the regular season. He said, all right, Moody, go out there and do something for me. All right, Kuminga, go out there and do something for me. All right, Anthony Lamb, go out there and do something for me. The Warriors, when you look at their rotations, especially their bench pieces, certain things have to go right for like them to go on runs and things. I saw the graphic yesterday about their net rating when Steph Curry wasn't on the floor. It's like a 47% difference, or 47% difference. Is terrible. And when Steph's on the floor, everything goes right. When he's off the floor, they look lost, right? So, and the commentator was talking about how Steve Kerr was looking to, he was saying, okay, well, I'm going to play Steph Curry 32 minutes. Try to get him to that 32-minute mark, just so I'm not exhausting my best player. But when you have a guy like Klay Thompson who's out there saying, Guns N' Roses, I'm going stupid. I'm shooting everything. I'm shooting contested. I'm shooting falling away. When Klay is on one, you're good. When Jordan Poole is on one, you're good. When Draymond Green's giving you 21 points, you're good. The Suns don't have that. They have to have Kevin Durant going out there and giving you 35 plus, and Devin Booker. They have to have DeAndre Ayton being a double-double machine. Chris Paul can afford to, take a break on certain nights, but when you are going up against teams that are deeper than yours, to where superstardom doesn't matter. I know we talked about it when the Suns traded for Kevin Durant. We were talking about them versus the Mavs in the series. And even in that series alone, I'm still taking the Suns, but it's because the Mavericks don't have defense and they don't have rebounding. Christian Wood and DeAndre Ayton. I'm expecting DeAndre Ayton to get more rebounds than Christian Wood is. That's just how it is. I'm expecting Bismack Biyombo to be a more effective interior defensive presence than Christian Wood is.
Well, yeah, the Mavs would have been ran out real quick in these playoffs.
So, but that's not to say, like, just because I'm taking the Suns in that series, I can't say the same thing for other series. Even a Los Angeles Lakers one, because with the Lakers, it's like the Lakers have a lot of offensive weapons outside of LeBron and AD, but it's a matter of if they're hitting or not. Austin Reeves, Troy Brown, Rui Hachimura, who's literally on pace to outscore the entire Memphis Grizzlies bench this series. They just have a lot of options that Darvin Ham can rely on, even though his rotations are very questionable. And I think that Darvin Ham would have a great career in motivational speaking compared to coaching. It's still getting him by at least for a couple of games, especially against a tough Memphis Grizzlies team, minus the fact that they don't have Steven Adams and Brandon Clark. But like the Suns don't have a lot of those pieces off the bench compared to the Lakers, compared to the Warriors, compared to the Nuggets, compared to the what am I missing? Even the Grizzlies, and they're short staffed. Like Xavier Tillman's giving you something, in the place of Brandon Clark and Steven Adams. So I think that I think the Lakers and the Suns are in the same tier for me. And the only reason that I would say that they had a legitimate shot is like the star power that they have. If Anthony Davis plays like Anthony Davis should, if LeBron James doesn't shoot 5 for 17, if Kevin Durant's giving you 35 and playing 45 minutes a night, like you're going to be running those boys into the ground and just pray to God that you make it to the conference finals unscathed or even the finals. I don't know about you. What do you think?
Yeah, so just for the viewers, the original question, obviously, the out of the 4 teams that are supposed to be in the Western Conference second round, who is least likely to make it to the finals? My answer is the Suns. I don't think they stand a chance against Denver if they keep playing the way they do. That, Devin Booker is hot right now, but you can't bank on that to ultimately win you multiple playoff series if you don't at least touch the paint. I made a video saying how, basically showing an entire fourth quarter where they should have lost to the Clippers. They didn't give DeAndre Ayton the ball when he was sealing off smaller defenders in the paint. You don't take advantage of those opportunities in bigger games, you don't deserve to win them, and a lot of times you're not going to win them. And I think Denver's a much more fundamentally sound basketball team. I also think that no one's guarding Jokic in Phoenix. I don't think anyone at all. From a defensive standpoint, they don't scare me. I just think Denver deserves to win that series, and I think they will.
Who's the best defender on their team?
That's what I was thinking of. I mean, there's positive defenders in that. Booker gives a lot of effort. Mm-hmm. Okogie's nice, but in terms of an interior presence, KD's is a decent shot blocker. Ayton is tall, but
yeah,
who's stopping Jokic from that little floater in the post?
Nobody,
all the time?
Bro.
Nobody. And then when it comes to the other series, I can see either the Lakers or the Warriors in the NBA Finals. I think it's possible that they knock off the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are probably still my favorite because I love the way Jamal Murray and MPJ are heating up. MPJ, even after a bad shooting night, had some really clutch buckets to seal the game against Minnesota. But the Lakers are very deep. I didn't realize Austin Reeves was that good. He's gotten a lot better over this last month or so, where I think it's more of a confidence thing. He can really take people off the dribble and draw fouls. He has a really good in-between game, which is great for the playoffs. Obviously can knock down a spot up. Can be a harassing defender at times. So I think if I had to bet my money, I think the Lakers might be in the finals. If it comes down to a Warriors-Lakers series and they're banking on LeBron to be old LeBron where he settles for jumpers, I think in a series like that, he's going to try to turn back the clock. And LeBron's obviously at his best when he's driving to the rim. The Warriors' interior defense is not what it used to be. Obviously, it's impossible to count the Warriors. I could definitely see them in the finals again. But all that to say, I think Phoenix is on the short end of the stick, which is crazy because they have Kevin Durant.
You know what? I'm actually change my answer. It's not the Lakers. It's the Suns. I agree. It's the Suns. The Lakers, I think, are a step above them, and it's mainly because I don't know if you were watching the game last night. They had to take Braun out of the fourth quarter because he was legitimately gassed. They had no other options.
No, he's playing like an old man. He is.
Yeah, and it's weird because I feel like LeBron is at that stage, at least from what I've seen in these playoffs, where like the 2020 game, LeBron was like, you know what, I'm gonna impact the game right here, not just from scoring, even though he was shooting the shooting was a little off that game. He was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get these rebounds because ain't nobody else getting them shit. All right, cool, I got it. I'm 38. This is another record for me. Sure, yeah. LeGoat James, here we go. But like when I look at
you're talking about the game, he got like 20 rebounds, right?
Yeah. I know he started off the game shooting a little bit sluggish from the field, but then as the game progressed, you literally saw him like be like, okay, I'm gonna get these rebounds, and then he ends up having a 20-20 game, and then he 4 blocks, whatever it was. I think it was 2 actually, but he had some pretty incredible blocks in that game, and a pretty great defensive game from a 38-year-old man, mind you. But nonetheless, I want to now get into the Golden State Warriors. I think it's a perfect segue. Last night, man.
Big win. Steph Curry.
Big win.
Vintage,
bro. When I tell you, I was watching this game in the first quarter. The Kings came out just busting threes. De'Aaron Fox looked like that finger injury was made up, was propaganda. Bro I think he hit like his first 2 or 3 straight threes. Like, it was insane. I mean, I'm bottom of the net splashes, right? I talked to you last night, bro, about Sabonis. Sabonis last night had 21, 10, 4, and 3 steals on 9 of 15 shooting and 3 or 4 from the free throw line. Draymond Green had 21 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, a block, shooting 80% from the field, and 1 for 2 from 3, and 4 from 8 from the free throw line. With a plus-minus of 13, which was the second highest on the team behind Klay Thompson. So, Draymond Green outperformed Sabonis. I'm going to say that straight up. I think Draymond Green has the mental edge over Sabonis in this series. And it's weird to me because, like, Draymond's obviously playoff experienced, right? You can just tell that Draymond knows, because like JJ Redick alluded to, Sabonis had been baiting Draymond Green for the first 2 games, right? So the Warriors were like, all right, bet. We just gonna leave you open. We're literally gonna leave you open at the free throw line. And Kevon Looney was standing like 5-6 feet back, just watching him at the free throw line. Sabonis has the ball. He waits 7 to 8 seconds before he realizes, oh, I'm open? They're gonna leave me open? Okay, I guess I'll shoot. I guess I can't use the ball as a weapon or whatever the Warriors are saying. I don't know what that's about, but whatever. I can't do my little dribble handoff, so I'm going to pop this midi. He should hit that every single time. I don't know why, but going into the series, I thought that Sabonis was going to literally be
Bro, we said this before. I thought he was a much better shooter than he's proving to be.
On 2K, I be on ass in 2K with Sabonis, bro. It's wild. I was expecting bro to be popping middies and doing Dirk fades and shooting threes. I was expecting them to like leave him as a trail man, hit trail man threes at least, but like he just stands there. They guard Sabonis the same way other teams guard Draymond Green, and it is like absolutely mind blowing to me that like Draymond was guarding him like he guarded Russ. I wish Sandy was here, so I'm gonna poke some fun at him.
Dude, he'd be wide open at the free throw line. This is just like a summary of everything I've seen. He'd look at the rim. He'd take 1 pound dribble and throw his shoulder into Looney under the basket and be an offensive foul. Every time he's tried to barrel into someone, he's just like mauling them.
Draymond literally stands there in the
I thought he had
area.
more finesse than that.
Me too. I was expecting this, like, I don't know what it is, like, because somebody had dropped a comment one time and they were like, Sabonis is literally like a knockoff version of Joker, and I say that with the utmost respect. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm looking at
Jokic.
Floater. Man, like Jokic got a floater. Jokic can bang with guys in the paint. Pause. He got a little midi. He got a 3-point shot. Like Jokic covers a lot of ground offensively. Sabonis does not cover that much ground offensively, and I am utterly shocked in this series. Like, I was expecting 20 and 10 averages from bro. Like, I was expecting not even maybe 20 and 15 averages. Like, I was expecting at least if he's not going to score to get a lot of rebounds. But Kevon Chamberlain is out there doing his thing, getting 22 rebounds last night, 7 assists. Kevon Looney is lit. I feel like I can tell Draymond has the influence on Looney. I can tell. Because Looney's out there, when he's getting these offensive boards, he's looking to kick it back out to shooters. Or if he's coming off of screens, you look at Klay Thompson. The amount of times I saw Klay Thompson get a screen from Kevon Looney, and then Looney rolls off of it, and then Klay's just popping it, floating into the air for Looney to drive in. And then he's just dishing it off to the next man cutting. Like, the Warriors' offense is always so flowing. And when you have a guy like Loon that can go out there and get you 20-plus rebounds and 5-plus assists, that is incredible to me. I said Dubs in 6. I've been preaching Dubs in 6 since January. I believe it's going to be Dubs in 6. I told y'all that I don't think the Kings are going to get a game in Chase Center. I know everybody was talking about the Warriors on the road. That doesn't matter to me. Like, the Warriors played bad on the road in the regular season. Yes, they did. But a multitude of those games came down to, like, fourth quarter woes. Stuff that was just stupid plays from the Warriors. You slap yourself on the back of the head. You know better than that. In these playoffs alone, I don't think that those road woes are going to show. I really don't. Because the Warriors are looking at it like, if you give the Warriors a reason to be the underdog, you lost, bro. Last year in the finals, 86% chance to win the Boston Celtics. I was like, the series is done, bro.
I was shaking my head when they put that out.
Like, you don't even want the Warriors to see this, bro. You already know how they coming, bro.
That is fuel to the fire.
Especially Steph. Steph was probably looking at that like, am I a joke to you? Like, really? Like, what are y'all doing? So for the Kings, I think that I want to just say this too. The Kings are offensive firepower type of team. Like, we get all of that, right? De'Aaron Fox has had to play hero ball a lot in this series. He's had to take the majority of the shots in this series. I looked at Keegan Murray last night. He had me sweating in the first quarter. I'm not going to lie. But his shot selection, not his shot selection, the attempts on his shots he had 5 shot attempts last night. What do you expect to do with that? Harrison Barnes had 6 shot attempts last night. Didn't score until I think the third quarter. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? Malik Monk gave you 21 off the bench, shot 6 of 14. Couldn't really find a rhythm. Davion Mitchell is out there. You see Davion Mitchell, exhausted as hell. Thank you, Mike Brown, for putting that young bull on Steph. Because even a young bull at the ripe old age, I think he's, let me look it up, make sure I'm right.
No, he's definitely only second year, third year in the league
like
max.
21, 22.
Yeah.
You're guarding let me see right. He's 24 years old. 24 years old guarding a 35-year-old man. A 35-year-old man got you out there looking like Ja, looking like Jokic, looking like Luka.
Hold up. To be fair, he's got to run into Draymond Green for half of those. So he's taking hits too. I'm not even talking about illegal screens. I'm just saying you got to run into that man's chest. So
Draymond don't move. Draymond don't move unless he's flopping. But this series, bro, I need to hear your thoughts on it. Do you think it ends in 6 or do you think it ends in 7?
I think it's over. I think they, especially with all that momentum they have, it would be a shame if they have to go back to Sacramento. And even then, I think it's hard to see. I mean, if Fox does it, he's like a breakout mini superstar, which there seems to be like so many guys that are on the brink and that play well. Some of them have to not have it. I don't know if he has it or not. It'll be interesting. But what I want to say is that Golden State should end it. They should not leave it up to that chance to see if Fox has it in him. Like, you don't want to put that to chance. The Kings are still young. It'll be fun to see them in the playoffs for a while, but your time is up. The big dogs are coming to eat.
Your time is up. My time is now.
Our time is actually.
My time is now.
Our time is actually coming to an end. We're at 44 minutes. I'm happy we got this long with just the two of us. If I just want to say like some predictions, just so I have it on record of what I want to say about the Knicks Heat series. The Knicks should win in 4 games. And I'm not right. I think in terms of like, if Jimmy Butler is going to beat you like that, I feel like that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
They should win in 4 games. They're more talented without Hero. Bam Adebayo, like they're more aggressive. They're more gritty. Obviously, Jimmy Butler's the grittiest player, but from a team perspective, like the Knicks just play like junkyard ball. Like everyone's crashing boards. Like with the way they're playing, they should win in like I won't say 4, I'll say 5. But I think we could be in a situation where Jimmy goes stupid game 1. Obviously, there's guys like Lowry and Kevin Love who I fear at MSG. I don't think Duncan Robinson's going to find a rhythm. I don't think Max Strus is going to find a rhythm. There's guys out there like I feel like Kevin Love can get in that rhythm where he frustrates Julius because he's not going to guard him, but Julius is going to see, oh, he's a little small. He's going to take like 3 charges because that's what Kevin Love does. Just those little savvy veteran things. Kyle Lowry as well. He could stick his body in there. There's going to be a lot of stupid things that like the Knicks are going to be aggravated by. They could take a game in MSG, but I think that the Knicks are like, they're always been a better road team. And I think a large part of that is because of MSG. In the regular season, stars take it as a challenge and they just play really well. But in the playoffs, it's a lot different because people are screaming against you. I think it could go 1-1 and then 1-1. And it's a 2-2 series going back to the Garden. I think the Knicks really should win in 6. Like, I'd be very disappointed if they lost, which is unfortunate because they've had such a good season. I want it to end sour. But they really need to be in the Eastern Conference Finals with the way the season's going. And Boston does not want to see us because it is going to be Boston.
If we get a Knicks and Celtics series, I can't wait.
I've been praying for it.
I don't think the Celtics are winning a game in the Garden, bro. I just don't. And here's the thing.
Hey, they go from TD Garden to the THE Garden. The Garden.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if
fans
we
would
get
go crazy.
If we get a Knicks and Celtics series, Tibbs, put in Evan Fournier. That's all I got to say, bro. Get that man some minutes.
He's got a red dot on anything green, man.
Bro, before we close out, LePodcast merchant is about to drop.
Well, hold up. We don't have a timeline yet, but basically what he's saying is we got our samples in the mail. They are fire. We got the hats so far. I think there's other stuff coming in, but it fits really well. You can see it on his head if you're on YouTube. It's a little dad hat, the adjustable with the LePodcast, just the text on the front with the period, right? Fire.
I love the period.
Yeah, I love it. That's so much character. But we're really hype about it. So it's definitely something to look forward to in the near future. You should join our Discord to get updates about all that kind of stuff. I think it's Discord people know what it's called. Like GG/LePodcast, right?
Yeah.
We got our custom link. Just look up LePodcast. I think we're going to be public too. We have over 2,000 members. So shout out to everyone in there. But I guess it's time to sign off. Without Sandy here, it's been weird holding down the fort. But I'm glad we could get it done.
I'm glad we could get it done too. Hey, I feel like we should start saying this more. I don't know why, but I'm just only saying this for YouTube. I'm gonna do the casual like, share, and subscribe if you like our content, please. Thank you very much. All right. And for our Spotify listeners,
see you on episode 69. Peace.
Pause.